the company has to have priorities, right? Um, the Roadsters, I mean, things I'm excited to see, right? I'm excited to see the Cybertruck. Really excited to see a new Roadster. But, uh, they gotta do what makes money, right? And right now that's the why, the three and the why, right? So if they get these new plants spun up and, get that out, and then you can have your flagship. I think what they really need to be doing is the semi because that's a large impact, environment wise sort of vehicle. And that's the kind of thing that needs to be on the road and whatever infrastructure needs to come along to support that. That's to me the most important thing after just the company being, more profitable. And things like the Cybertruck and the Roadster are just kind of like, cherry on
Sure,
top kind of
exactly.
things. They're kind of like flagship type vehicles. I don't know what the profit margin will be on those, but certainly the numbers are less than the Y would be. The Roadster, I really want to see that. I was a little disappointed with what was it, $250,000 price. You know what I want? I want a Miata. I want, I want, I want something like the everyman's Roadster,
Yeah,
little R Roadster,
yeah.
where I can, rag top that I can drop and I can just go run some errands and just drive for fun. 100 mile of range would be fine. I just need to drive around the neighborhood or go up, go drive some twisties and come back. And I want something like that for 50K or whatever or less. And I don't
Mm.
need something with cold gas thrusters for that extra little bit.
Yeah, 0 to 60 in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Lewis, Plaid
yeah.
Lewis.
Yeah, you know what? I would have gladly gone for the Roadster if it was out, but it's not out yet.
uh,
No, that is an insane price tag. I mean, obviously there's market for people in that price range, but I don't know. I
Oh,
think
and
it's not
for the
practical at all.
performance, it's fine.
What's that?
For the performance, it's a reasonable price, right?
Sure. It absolutely. I mean, I think the Plaid is a steal for the performance. It's just, do you really need that performance? I don't
Oh yeah, and the
know.
Plaid in some ways undercuts the Roadster,
Right.
right?
It'll be interesting to see. I'm waiting to see the actual Roadster once it comes out. I want to see the engineering behind it. I want to see, what those thrusters actually do. I mean,
Oh,
it'll
they'll
be
look
interesting.
pretty.
So,
yeah. So, what, Doug? Talk about a little bit about the Roadster itself, because I will admit I don't follow Roadster. But what do you think? Or has there been posted for people who may not follow it as well? What's been posted as to why it's been delayed? What keeps it getting pushed back and things like that?
I don't really know, but I would guess just company execution. I mean, a lot of the technology they developed for it has trickled down, right? Uh, what are the most expensive, difficult things in the manufacturing? It's often like, stamping the body panels and stuff like that, right? So it's much easier to roll that stuff into the Model S, right? Which is really the flagship vehicle right now, right? The Model S, and come out with the Plaid, right? Which had been hinted at forever, right? The Plaid, right? With the whole Spaceballs thing.
ludicrous mode.
'Cause
Right.
Ludicrous, yeah,
Yeah.
Ludicrous was
Right.
was the step, and there's nothing past Plaid, right?
Right.
Um, so that made a lot of sense actually, as a stepping stone to the Roadster, and like here's something we can sell and learn from, right? I mean, as far as I know, the Plaid wasn't trouble free, and Lewis, is there some?
Definitely some issues. There's,
Right.
I mean, yeah, there's a number of vibration issues that are known, and some other things that are probably the key sticking points. But yeah, I mean, I would agree with Doug. I think the problem with the Roadster, the biggest reason it's probably not out yet, is because Tesla only has so many people that can only work on so many things, and supplies are limited, and all the other stuff going on. So they need to make money, right? Like that's right now they gotta print money, and they're doing quite well compared to other automakers. But I don't know. It's a lot of it has to do with just the technology development, the manufacturing, the lines. They're working on getting their Y production up.
Well,
they're
and how many Roadsters did they owe people, right? Don't they owe a bunch of free Roadsters to people?
Probably.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
so it's certainly a net loss initially.
Yeah, for the referral program, I feel so burned by that personally. Like we've been running TMC since 2006, right? We have definitely, Danny and I, have been running TMC for so long and have definitely sold hundreds, thousands,
For sure.
tens of thousands
For sure.
of Tesla
For sure.
vehicles.
Your
Right?
site was the reason why I got a 3.
Right. We've sold so many vehicles, right? But I didn't personally own one until December of 2018. I ordered the Model 3 when it came out. That was the first car that made some sense for me because I was just trying to be environmentally conscious, right?
Okay,
I mean,
sure.
at that time, I was only driving between home and campus a couple times a week. I drove at most 10 miles a week. It didn't make sense to get a very expensive car on a student income, And so, yeah, it wasn't until, and then I ordered in 2016, but then didn't get a vehicle and, of course, didn't get a referral code until 2018. And right about then, Tesla decides to totally neuter the program. Instead of actually getting cool stuff, you got a few bucks worth of supercharging miles, and now you don't even get that.
Right.
So yeah, I really missed the boat on that. Where people are getting, for 500, they got, there's, getting Roadsters. Like, man. Oh well. I'm not bitter at all, though.
Oh, of course.
No.
We can tell.
Actually, Doug, I got a question for you about I'm going to marry the Roadster and the Cybertruck together for a moment. And based on what I know about manufacturing and the way Tesla's been behaving, as they built their cars, I have to say in the back of my head is the Roadster and the truck both suffer from the same root problem, and that's scope creep. It's the same problem the X had.
The X had it,
and getting it out the door. That they kept adding things, and the engineers go, "Oh, we can do this, we can do that. Got this other cool thing that we can just add."
Is
to
it the engineers, or is it
I would
the
argue.
guy?
In my expertise, Mike, scope creep is rarely the engineer's fault.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think
just
it's the
throwing it out.
engineers.
I don't know. I'm an engineer too, and when I got an opportunity to make something better,
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah, but when you're when someone's telling you to do something, and then you basically do what you're told. Okay,
Right.
we want to do this.
All
We'll
right,
try to
I'll
do it
go
as
with that.
efficiently as possible.
I am guilty of the better syndrome. I can make this better. Just give me another week. I can make it better. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some scope creep, but I don't really think that's the issue right now.
No.
No, I mean, they're trying to get new manufacturing locations online. Cybertruck will be made, I guess, in Texas, right? So they'll do that, but I bet they'll be making
They got
be
the final
making threes and
approval for
ones
Giga
first,
Berlin,
I mean.
so that should be.
Yeah, I mean they have a lot of Ys already made, just sitting there,
they should.
ready to go. I think they're shipping now, actually, but yeah,
They got the official approval 4 days ago, 3 days ago.
This week. This just happened. But I mean, one of the brilliant things that Tesla's doing though for the Cybertruck and the Roadster, I'm sure is doing it too, but across all their lines like the 3 and the Y, if you look at the actual parts and the teardowns and the stuff they do in the engineering, they're using the same parts. They're doing a lot of things that are intelligently designed that span across. So like even the Model S Plaid has the same layout for the circuit boards for like the inverters, and has the same, types of design around like the heat pumps and things like that. There's a lot of similarities. And then, but they make their technology extensible so that they can say, oh, I can scale it down to what a 3 needs. I can scale it up to what an S needs.
But
I imagine to what a Cybertruck will need.
It's still
but
the same thing.
The core is the same components. And that, I mean, that's brilliant for manufacturing. That's brilliant for just engineering and integration. I mean, they do that in anything that's, highly technical, complicated, high scalable products. That's the only way you can really be profitable.
And that's one of the great things about Tesla too, is they aren't waiting, right? They aren't waiting to when they have something better and they're ready to ship it, they ship it. As opposed to waiting till the next model year or something, like that. I mean, it was funny for a while watching, the 3 come out, and the 3 was really a new vehicle, a lot of new things, and they still had existing, Model S's, and people are like, well, is the 3 the better vehicle? Because it's got a bunch of new stuff that the S didn't have yet, and finally for that stuff creeping in back into the S, so that the S is the better vehicle, is the the more expensive sort of flagship type
the
vehicle.
faster vehicle at least.
Yeah.